Hooray from Hollyweird. Sean, Lexi, and maybe Joe. The breaking down of your favorite movies, TV shows. Hooray for... we gotta fix it.
Breaking down Dexter movies.
Breaking down Dexter's movies and shows. Oh, I like that.
Well, we can make like Dexter rhyme with Lexter.
Well, as you've said, so we actually have a Dexter episode I still have yet to edit and put out there of Hollyweird. I think that's going to be called Tonight's the Night or whatever the fuck he says.
This fucking guy.
What is it that he says?
Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night. That's crazy.
I told Sean that we should just turn the show into a Dexter Rewatch podcast exclusively while Joe's on hiatus. And I said, and we should call it Tonight's the Night. And Sean was like, what's that?
Well, I never know with you. I never know if it's a meme, if it's some current hot thing on the internet that I don't know about, you know? You never know with this gal. Well, we got, anyway, so that Dexter episode's going to come out to Patreon. And then you and I have to talk offline about everything else we're releasing. Because somehow we're producing like... Yeah, I love that you just walked off screen. I just looked down and you're fucking gone. Somehow we're producing like double the amount of episodes as when Joe was... like, I just have episodes in the bank. Like today I forgot about the Marshall interview. And I was like, wait, I have 2 episodes we haven't released. And we're recording an episode tonight. Like that's crazy. So we'll figure out how to release those. The Dexter one's definitely gonna be on Patreon. And then we got to record another one because I'm on season 4.
Notice anything?
Oh, we got a Sinners poster and a Flight Risk poster. Oh my word! And your drop poster will be arriving very soon.
Can I tell you? So I was at the theater today. And dude, I fucking hate Zach. And Zach was listening to the episode I did last week. So Zach, if you're listening, fuck you. Actually, I offered it to him. Anyway, I was at the theater and my local one sells their old posters. And they had a couple Flight Risk posters. And I was like, oh, that would be the funniest bit in the world, is to just replace all of the posters in my room with Flight Risk posters.
Oh.
And not tell Sean and just get on recording. I was like, that would be the funniest fucking thing ever. And I really did want a Sinners poster too. And then Zach was texting me because I told him I saw it and he loved Sinners. So like the good sister I am, I was like, do you want a fucking Sinners poster? And he was like, yeah. So my Flight Risk bit money went towards Zach's Sinners poster. I will be taking this down unless we're recording, but when we're recording, I'm putting it back up.
You have to pay for them?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we have an episode today. We have Sinners Movie Theater May. We're watching the movies in theaters. This week is Sinners. Next week is... She got a vampire shirt. Always on brand. This
Always.
One. Next week we've got Clown in the Cornfield. When are we releasing the Marshall interview?
I mean, whenever.
Okay. Well,
it can just be a bonus episode for 1 week. Just like release it on a Saturday or something.
Okay.
Start your Saturday morning with Marshall Strauss.
I want to do a morning show so bad. With a little cup of coffee. With a little cup of coffee. Because I have nothing else to...
Cable's dead, though. I'll work on it. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, no, I want to sit with a cup of coffee. I want to be the Regis Philbin of this shit.
Yeah.
Chit-chatting movies in the morning.
I'll make it happen.
So we have Sinners this week. Both went and saw Sinners. I saw it last night. You saw it this afternoon. Where do you start on this bad boy?
Where we start is the journey I took. So I bought my ticket.
Like a shitload of money on 2 bets. So anyway,
it happens to the best of us. So I have a Regal near me. That's like my chain theater. And then there are two, it's like a region based chain. Like there's nothing outside of this side of Ohio that has these theaters. But there's two of those near me and then the Regal. So I go to the Regal most often because I have Regal Unlimited, which is $20 a month, and then however movies you want. The Atlas is my heart and my home. I love it. It's my favorite place in the world. I'm not even kidding. Like Atlas is my favorite place in the world. It's my safe space. But I have to pay full price every time I go there. So I really only go there for like special occasions, and there hasn't been one in a while, or if they're screening something that like Regal isn't. But I bought my ticket to a 4:30 of Regal, and I wasn't going to make it. It was a whole thing. I had to return a carpet cleaner. I wasn't going to make it on time. Luckily, my sweet Atlas had a 4:50 showing. So I go there, right? Theater is, I'm telling you, Sean, there were like 5 cars in the parking lot. I swear to God, there were like 5 cars in the parking lot. Nobody goes to that theater. I don't know how it's still operating. When I walked in my theater, it wasn't full, but I was like, how the fuck did you all get here? There were like 5 cars in the parking lot. Like, where did you all come from? I was so confused. And the cherry icy was down. So like it was kind of a disaster. I walked in. Oh, I wanted to ask you, does the movie start with like the date and year?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's exactly when I walked in, which like you and I had talked about.
Okay,
But
there's a pre. So you didn't see the thing that it cut back from? Oh no. Oh no. I feel like I shouldn't even have told you for the purposes of this episode.
Kill the lights.
You missed. Yeah, you missed a segment.
I mean, I do want to see it again.
Did you see him go to the church at the beginning?
Yeah.
And then it cuts backwards.
And then
you're right. Earlier. It does start with the date and the year. Sorry, I mixed it up. I thought the date and the year came after, but no, it's one day earlier. That's the second.
Okay. Oh my God. Because whatever reason, I mean, you and I were talking about this, trailer packages are out of fucking control now.
Yeah.
I always forget that Atlas theaters, it is like right on the money. Like they start when the showtime is listed.
Oh, I love that.
I do too, except I fucking forget about it because I don't go there that often anymore.
Yeah. Connecticut is, I sent this to you. Connecticut's trying to pass a law that the theaters have to list what time the movie will actually start.
I love that.
It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. Okay, so you did see the whole thing. So we can continue the episode. Well, that's a disaster.
No cherry icy.
I went to go see it. Theaters are still packed for this movie. It's fucking crazy. I found an 8 o'clock at a theater 30 minutes away. So I go. Construction. I'm like, what the fuck? Trying to get to this 8 o'clock. 8:15 was packed, but it had like 2 seats available. That's it. And so I was able to snag it. And I went 8:15, and then it was a whole thing. But we had 25 minutes of trailers, which was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
So, but all right, I don't even know where to start with this. So, okay.
Well,
Did you know Michael B. Jordan plays 2 parts in this movie?
Dude, I was so fucking confused. I normally go into movies blind as it is. I've caught the theater trailer for this a few times. But normally I don't read anything until I am in my seat. I will open IMDb and read the synopsis on IMDb just to have like something. And that's all I know. But because I walked in when it started, I didn't do that. So what I knew about this movie going into it, honest to God, is that it was a vampire movie, which is crazy. I was able to avoid that much, but I did.
Well, I only told you that like 2 weeks ago, and you were like, "It's a vampire movie," and I was like, "I'm sorry for telling you that."
Is that true? I don't remember that.
Yes, you had no idea. You were like, "It's a vampire movie," and I was like, "Oh God, she's either gonna kill me or like I don't know what's gonna happen if I say yes to this." So I was like, I knew it was a vampire movie, and I was like, yeah, I think so. Maybe not. Who knows? Who could say? Because I did not want you to like be fucking mad about it.
Well, fucking, it's so funny. I don't know what the marketing is because I've been kind of avoiding it. But my friend Brenna picked me up from the airport Monday night, and she was like, "Yeah, I went to the movies last night." And I was like, "Oh, what'd you see?" And she was like, "I saw this movie called Sinners, but I didn't know it was a horror movie until like 30, 40 minutes in." And I feel like I've heard that a few times online.
That's interesting.
Well, because it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem like a horror movie. And if it does feel like a horror movie, it's more of like a thriller, it might seem like.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it's just the trailer that I saw. Again, I don't watch a lot of trailers either, but like the trailer I saw was it was just like Michael B. Jordan and a building on fire. And that was kind of like all I took away from it.
The theater trailer I saw was very vague, and the one that stuck out to me was him like banging his head on the door.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it. Yeah. But no, I didn't know he was playing Tokyo Rangers in it.
So we are going to spoil this. So if you haven't seen Sinners, I'd say move along, baby. But what vampire movies, are you a fan of them to begin with?
Love them.
Oh, you do?
What's funny is I never think that I do in my head, but every time I watch one, I'm like, this is the best movie ever made.
So I love the concept of a vampire. Hate vampire movies.
They're not often executed well.
Right.
Like, give me the 80s Fright Nights. You know what Fright Night is the best vampire movie of all time. But just that style, like I like it hokey, you know?
So it's so hard to make a vampire movie serious because vampires themselves are so fucking goofy and stupid.
Yeah.
There is a way to do it though. And I think Sinners fucking nailed it.
I agree.
Did you like it?
I fucking loved it. What other
I thought
vampire
it was so
movies?
Fucking good.
It was, yeah, but
I'm pulling up the best vampire movies now.
What else has even come out recently that's vampires?
Nosferatu.
The last one I think I saw, well, yeah, but yeah, I guess. The last one I saw was, the fuck was it called? It was just Get Out, but with vampires. I forget what it was called. It was a nothing movie. No one has ever said anything about it in the history of the world.
Get Out with vampires.
It was the plot of Get Out, but they were all vampires instead of like racists.
White people? Oh.
Yeah. No, they were white vampires. It was weird.
I'm trying to. These are the worst lists I've ever seen.
Also, this weight is like driving me crazy, so I'm putting a different t-shirt on over this.
We had a wardrobe malfunction over there. So top vampire movie picks. I hate the Google list, but whatever. I'm just gonna go off of it. 30 Days of Night. Meh. Lost Boys. What are your thoughts on Lost Boys?
I haven't watched Lost Boys in a very long time.
Hated it.
I think I liked it, but
it's so fucking popular. It just does not work for me. It does not work for me. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not a movie like I'm not obsessed with it. Interview with a Vampire? We talking about some sexy vamps?
Make them horny.
Make them that's a fucking horny movie.
Yeah, it is.
That movie is so fucking horny. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Let the Right One In. Good one.
Good one.
Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. I do love that, but I don't
never seen that.
Count it as a top one. Fright Night, Vampires, From Dusk Till Dawn. Blackula is good. Shadow the Vampire is probably my favorite, which is insane because it's not great. You got Salem's Lot.
Love Salem's Lot.
You got Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay with that.
That movie rocks. That movie shaped my life as a child. Once Bitten. Once Bitten's good. But like none of these are like, I mean, I guess some of those first ones I mentioned are like movies, like real fucking movies. This was a real fucking movie. Like it felt like I don't even know how to explain it, and it makes all the sense in the world that everyone's going to go see it now, or is seeing it now, because it's just so fucking good. It's
Can I say
so
something?
yeah.
I loved it.
Here we
I don't know
go.
how we're going to feel about this. I don't know how we're going to feel about this. I loved it. I loved it. However, I cannot help but feel that it is the baby, it is the child of From Dusk Till Dawn and Django Unchained.
No, I see what you're saying. Not From Dusk Till Dawn, though. I don't see
Are
that.
you being serious?
Why? Because they're at a club?
Yeah.
Okay. That's there's probably a million. Every
It's
vampire
very
movie, you're
From
trapped
Dusk
in a
Till
house.
Dawn. It's
I
so
don't know.
they're literally like, we just have to make it to sunrise, and they're like building weapons and shit.
Every oh, dude, I love that though. That one of my notes is how much I loved that.
Yeah, it is great.
But you know what? Okay, fine. I'll concede on that. But I will say, I think that's what makes the best vampire movies. I think you need to be like trapped. You need to be in a situation where you're trapped. It's like a one night deal. Give me a one night, baby, and I fucking love it. Like, how do we survive this? Because it can't be drawn out. All these other fucking vampire movies that are like weeks and months of like,
Right.
oh boy, that vampire showed up at my house again last night. Like, what? And
Yeah.
I'll give Salem's Lot a pass in that, because to me, they were like growing and building. Like
Yeah.
that was like, they weren't like, let's do this all at one night. Like their strategy was like, we're just going to start picking and choosing that we're going to pick this town apart. And then once we have enough, it's game over. And then that's like the final night. So I'm down with that. It's this other thing where everyone's walking around like life is great. And then it's like, I think there's a vampire in this town. And they're just like wandering about.
Yeah. And like, it's so hard, I would imagine, to write a vampire movie in a way that doesn't feel cheap. Because
Yes.
it's like you said, vampires are so fucking stupid. I love them. They're so fucking stupid. So it's like, how do you write like it's not like a serious movie, but you know what I mean?
It is, though, in a sense. The vampires are grounded. And how do you ground a vampire? It reminds me of like Superman. I've never been a fan of Superman, whether it was a comic book or a movie, because I'm like, this guy's corny as fuck. He has every superpower known to man. He walks around with glasses on and everyone's like, man, you look like Superman. And he's like, yeah, that would be fucking weird, wouldn't it? You look identical to that fucking guy flying around. Also, you're super fucking weird. Like that shit pisses me off. And vampires are kind of in the same spot where they're so powerful. They have all of these things that they can do. It's so hard to write around that and make it be like, well, why would you do that? Or why would they do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I do like is, okay, so you have the whole hypnotism of vampires. You could talk about that part of it, right? That aspect of it. And that's where so many go wrong. The hypnotism and the romance of it, like where they're like, I'm a sex vamp, right? I think what it is and what this movie nailed is, I think vampires have learned to be charming to get what they want and to gain access to people. And in this movie, that is what it was. It was like, I'm just a charming guy. I'm not going to like hypnotize you. I'm not going to be like, don't you think I'm sexy? Like, it was just like, hey, I'm just this guy. Like, I'm just this Irish feller. Why let me into your club? So I really liked that they grounded all of those little like vampire lore into the movie.
Well, yeah, and I think it was kind of fun. I'm like combing through my brain right now thinking about all the vampire movies and like how they all handle it. But it was just kind of fun having Annie be like a spiritual.
Loved it
Because it's
Fucking
not so heavy-handed. You know what I mean? They're so light with it, and then when it comes back into play, it's perfect.
And is like historically and culturally accurate, and where she is a woman that would be like, hey, this is fucking nuts. And she gets it wrong, right? She calls them hates at
Yeah.
first, which I'd never heard that term before. And then she's like, okay, so I thought they were hates. I don't think they fucking are. I think it's a fucking vampire, which is nuts. But like she's like that. Even that's crazy for me to
Yeah.
say. But building that in, because that's always a downfall for me, is like, how are they gonna decide that these are supernatural creatures?
Well, and I really like that in these movies. It's always like vampires aren't fucking real. I feel like nobody did that. Everyone was just kind of like, okay, this is what the situation is. You know what I mean?
They go one or the other. It's like one. That's the other problem, is it's one or the other. They'll just ignore the idea of a vampire and just kind of be like, it can't be, but like without saying it, because they think that would be corny, but it's actually cornier now to do it that way. Like, I'm so glad that they were like, hey, this is a fucking vampire. Like,
Well, yeah, and I love it because it's like, and they have that line with Annie where Smoke is like, I've been all around the world. There's no magic. There's no whatever. But again, it's not something that's like outlined in red when he says it. It just seems
no.
very like organic and natural.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're in that situation and it's clearly a fucking vampire, you're not going to be like, vampires aren't real.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's a
Yes.
fucking vampire in front of us.
Yes. And then they build that in with just like one little scene of like, I'm gonna trust this situation
Yeah.
and trust it's not a vampire. Then everyone's like, okay, that's a fucking vampire. Like, that was fucking crazy. Like, and that's all you need. You can move on. And it was like fucking done fucking masterfully. I fucking loved it so much. So I did take notes while I was there, because
That's
since
so
the people next to me were talking, I was like, you know what? Fair game. Turning my brightness all the way down. I also do this thing. I usually take paper notes if I watch a movie in theaters. We've done a few movies in theaters, but I do this thing where I just put my knees up and then put the phone like right in between, so the light doesn't affect anyone, because I don't want to be a jerk.
Okay.
Okay, well, thanks.
I don't like it a lot.
What?
I don't like it a lot.
I mean, I don't either. I was pissed I forgot my little notepad.
Yeah.
But I had to do what I had to do for the show, baby. And again, they were talking throughout the beginning of the movie, so I was like, you know what? Game on,
Yeah,
baby.
I lucked out. It was a quiet theater for me.
Oh, you're so fucking lucky. So, okay. So, first of all, directed by Ryan Coogler, who is just on a fucking heater. Is he just the next god of movies?
What else has he done?
So he did Fruitvale Station. That was his first movie. Then he did Creed. Then he did Black Panther. Then he did Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and then Sinners. And he directed and wrote all of them.
Okay.
He is... But I love it because, dude, he does Fruitvale Station, which is like a serious fucking movie. And by the way, Michael B. Jordan, all of them, every movie he's made is Michael B. Jordan, which I fucking love that they're just buds now. Like,
Yeah.
I fucking love that. So, and I don't know, Fruitvale Station might have been Michael B. Jordan's breakout too. I don't know.
I've
which
never
is
seen
sick.
it. Never seen it.
It's a great movie. So you got Fruitvale Station. He does Creed, which I don't know if you've seen, but it's part of the Rocky franchise. You're thinking like, okay, great. What's this gonna be about? It's fucking amazing movie. It's like a great fucking movie. It's crazy. You're like, holy shit. He does Black Panther. You could argue like one of the coolest comic book Marvel movies. But like, how do you jump from Fruitvale Station into like these big budget movies? And then I just love that he was like, hey, 2 for you, did those Black Panther flicks. I'm going to Sinners. Like, I want to make this fucking vampire movie, and that's what I'm fucking making. And it's unreal. So I'm super excited for this guy. I think he's gonna do like some crazy shit.
Do we have box office numbers?
I had some pulled up. Let me see if I still have it.
This baby has to be blowing the roof off that thing.
So Lexi and I are both people that avoid theaters with a single soul in them. It's like
Yes.
if you see one seat bought in a theater, you're like, oh, I guess I can go to this. But yeah. So we haven't been able to see it for weeks because of it.
But it's not even like I'll be lenient with it sometimes. Like, yeah, I don't love it, but I'll go to like a fuller theater. The issue has been that it's like there are like 2 seats left in the theater.
Yes. No, it's I say sold out. It's been close to a sellout because floor seats don't count.
Yeah, no, they don't.
And there's been no seats. There's no seats. So the budget was $90 million. Box office, I don't know if this is accurate yet. It's the box office so far is 240 million. Yeah, 244 million so far. Way above what it was intended to make.
I would really think that it would be more.
I think it's going to going to keep going. It was fucking packed last night.
Do we know how long theaters have it exclusively?
No, I don't. But I feel like they might let it run out because, dude, it's been in there since April 18th. We're going on a month.
Came out?
Yes, we're going on a fucking month, and we can't get tickets to go see it. Like, that's mental.
What is the last fucking movie that might have done something like this? Oppenheimer, Barbie?
Oppenheimer, Barbie. I think those would be like the only ones that really had a moment. But it's so weird because I feel like Sinners is still under the radar.
I know what you mean.
Like, people aren't, like, I feel like this should be like on the news every day. Like, Sinners is still fucking sold out. Like, what the fuck is happening? It's so crazy. It's bizarre. I saw a news thing that said, Sinners is Hollywood's biggest original box office hit in years. So original being a non-IP film. Box office milestone lands on highest grossing charts for horror movie. Let's see what that is. These articles, they do too much now. It's fucking nuts.
I know.
I can't read all of this, but also there's just 8 million ads in between. I'm trying to find anything so far here. Sinners' domestic box office run has already made it one of the most notable horror hits of all time. So it is, it looks like they're estimating a $400 million by the end of all of this. They just noted that, I sent it to Lexi, they're doing, they're doing a re-release of a 70 millimeter in IMAX, which is fucking amazing. I wish I could go see it, but it's like super select theaters. But 400 million worldwide.
That's so crazy.
Dropping second place is Sinners with strong 33 million in its third weekend, off just 28% despite losing all IMAX screens. So, yeah, so they're dumping screens of it, too. That's the other crazy part.
Do you like IMAX?
Yeah, I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think it's great. I think it's well worth it over all of the other gimmicks, and I love a gimmick. This is the gimmick. This is the gimmick that fucks, because it's fucking huge. The screen's enormous. The thing is, you have to adjust your seating preference. Are you a top row, back row seater, or a mid row seater?
I'm G6, middle row, middle seat.
See, I fuck up. I'm always a back seat, last row.
If there's anyone in the middle row, I will go back seat before I'm like front. I will, if only the front row is available, and I'm not talking floor seats. I mean like stadium seating with the first. Yeah. I'm not sitting there. Like I won't do it.
So, we're having some dog technical issues. Now you know why. Now you know why I have to put my dog in the crate upstairs while I record, because it's fucking madness. You sit in front of a camera and suddenly they're like, hey, by the way, time to fucking act like an insane person. So yeah, the middle row, I always go back row. IMAX, you have to be middle row. I forget that every time. You have to be middle row. Because the theater, the screen is so fucking big and the theaters are so large. There's like 100 seats, or no, there's probably way more than that. There's probably like 200 seats in an IMAX theater. So you have to be middle or even a little bit lower to experience, like to enjoy the full screen. If you're in the back row, it's actually like the same as a regular screen.
Yeah, the only movie I've ever seen in IMAX was Oppenheimer, and
Okay, that's a choice.
it was opening weekend, so it was pretty sold out. I think I got like very back row towards the end, like towards the aisle.
If you go in the middle, it's better, and the sound is better in those, so it's I like that. But yeah, no, man. So saw this last night. There's a few things I wanted to talk about it. Period piece.
What year is it set in? This was driving me crazy because I walked in as it was cutting away from the date to the church.
You know what's funny? I also missed the date. It takes place in 1932.
Okay.
I knew it was after the war.
Yeah.
Or not after the war. Well, yeah, I guess is that after the war? Yeah, it's after the war. When was Yeah, it was after the war. Because they're veterans of the war.
Okay.
Smokestack. Anyway, so 1932.
Which one of us is Smoke and which one of us is Stack?
Hey, well, that would be a good question if they weren't just the same character. And when I didn't know it was Michael B. Jordan, so I need to get glasses really badly because my distance viewing is getting bad, and I really noticed it last night because it was like kind of a little blurry for me. So I was
I walked when I was like sitting down, so I wasn't totally looking at the screen. It was the scene where someone was like, "Are you guys twins?" And they were like, "No, we're cousins." But then it like immediately switched to the actual cousin Sam and like Smoke. So for a while, I was just like, "Oh." I thought it was Sam and Smoke in the original scene because I wasn't looking, and they said they were cousins. And then all of a sudden, there's a second Michael B. Jordan, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
No, they do. It's so funny you say that because I had forgotten about that fact. But they do say they're cousins.
Yeah,
but I thought they were talking about themselves also, and I was sitting there watching it, so I don't know. I think I don't know. But yeah, the second Michael B. Jordan threw me off because I was like, how am I going to write who's who? I was like, who is this fucking actor? Like, because I was taking very brief notes, like just like a sentence here and there. So I wasn't going to like pull up who was in it. And then I was like, wait, this is Michael B. Jordan playing two fucking parts, which I think they did super fucking well. To avoid like having to do a ton of scenes with them together, they have that huge separate storyline for like the beginning of the movie, which I thought was a cool way of doing it. But 1932 period piece. This fucking guy, Robert Eggers, has taken this like throne of like, I'm the period guy. That's a fun thing to say. I'm the period boy. And he does it okay. He does it pretty well. This just reminded me of how much more fun it is when it's like a fun movie and and not a slog.
I love a period piece that it being a period piece doesn't really matter with the plot. You know what I mean? It's like correct. This, it doesn't really matter when it's set. The fact that it's the 1930s is just like a cool element to it.
Or that it's like a selling point. Like I feel like Eggers, it's like, hey,
right.
Guess what year I'm making this in? 1692 Brussels, Germany. Like, all right, cool. Like, great. Fucking great. I made all the costumes by hand and they're all 100%. Okay, great. Thanks, Rob. That's exactly what I'm going to the movie to see. And like, what the fuck are we doing? This one was just like, again, like you're just in it and it takes away a lot of it just made it more fun to be set in that period. I think it was just a great thing. And obviously the juxtaposition of culturally what was going on in the United States at the time, that was interesting to see. There's a lot of there's some cool references in this. One of them is they say Smoke and Stack are Michael B. Jordan's two characters, twin brothers, and their cousin Sammy. That's your leads for this. And Sammy plays guitar, and Sammy reveals that the twins had gotten him a very nice guitar, and they're like, he was like, "How did you get this?" And they said it came from Charlie Patton, which is a really cool reference. And Charlie Patton is a very old blues musician. I don't even want to speak incorrectly in here, so I'm going to pull it up real quick. But the one thing about Charlie Patton that I do know, I watched a documentary on the blues and him. Charlie Patton was, so he died in 1934, which is crazy. So, but his like lore, like back in the day, he was like traveling around, and that was back when you just had actual lore, which I wish we could bring that back. Because like Charlie Patton's lore was, he was walking down a road, he got to a crossroads, and he literally met the devil. And the devil, I forget the exact story, but like somehow the devil helped him learn to sing blues and like create this blues that no one had heard of before. And so,
that is interesting.
That's fun to put in there, right? To give him Charlie Patton's guitar. And it's like this devil thing, which they don't ever talk about in the movie, but that's the lore behind Charlie Patton.
That's so fun.
He met exactly. He met the devil and like played him away with his blues or something. But wait, can we bring lore back? Like, let's make up some lore for you and I, and then like whenever we're out together,
I don't need to make up lore.
Well, no. Well, let's make some less tragic ones where people don't nervously laugh and walk away from. No, like fun lore. Like it'll be like, I'll walk away and you'll be like, yeah, Sean once had traveled down to Texas and met the devil on an old dirt road. And that's how he became so funny. He told the devil off with all of his jokes.
Yeah, we can workshop something for sure.
Yeah. We got to do something like that. Lexi once killed a bar of 10 men. Stuff like that. We gotta bring that shit back.
Carter does that. He'll just like lie to people he meets in public, and I think it's so fucking funny. Like he'll say the most insane shit, and if they bite, he just like goes along with the bit.
I always wish I could do that. I never can though. I feel bad.
I break too fast.
Yeah, exactly. So you get this also. So you meet those lead characters. Sammy is the son of a preacher man, but can play the blues. Wants to be a blues player. Daddy doesn't like it. Smoking Stack, which the sickest fucking names of all time. Calling
I don't understand Stack. I didn't. Well, Smoke. I didn't think anything of until the end, where she's like, "I don't want to put out that cigarette. I don't want the smoke getting on him." And I was like, "Oh, is he just like he just rips cigarettes all the time, and that's why they call him that Stack?" I don't really understand.
Yeah, I don't know. But the names together, like being Smokestack.
There is that as well, yes.
That's sick. Maybe that's all it was. Maybe one got a cool name and he's like, "Hey, can you just call me Stack?" So we could go by Smokestack. I would have loved that. But they and they're gangsters. They were mixed up with Capone in Chicago, which was a cool little nod there. And you'll discover later that they kind of double-crossed both the Irish and the Italian mobs in Chicago. And that's why they've come back to Mississippi, where they're from. But they come back and they're immediately like, "Hey, we're going to buy this building with this stolen money," which they buy from this weird old white guy who's for sure in the Ku Klux Klan. And they're like, "Hey, tell your Klan members not to come here." And he's like, "Oh, the Klan's dead." And you're like, okay. But I gotta say, all the things that like come back later, you're never like, I was waiting for that. He makes you forget everything.
Totally.
So every time it does come back, you're like, fuck, there it is. Thank God.
Also, can I just fucking say, the runtime's 2 hours, 17 minutes. Dude, at some point, I stopped to check my watch when there was 10 minutes left in the movie, because obviously the ending, it's concluding. Like the storyline is concluding. But I was like, this movie's only been on for like an hour. Like, what is going to happen after this? And I looked at my watch and there was like 10 minutes left in the movie. And I was like, what the fuck? Because it
flew by.
It felt like I was in there for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and the movie was over. Oh,
it was
dude.
crazy.
And I think that is truly the mark of like a really good movie.
That is, especially in the age of these 2-hour-plus movies. They should not feel like a slog if it's going to be that long.
Right.
And then this movie has an awesome Armageddon style recruitment scene of Smokestack and Sammy just running around being like, "Hey, remember me?" And they're like, "Smoke and Stack, you sons of bitches."
I know, like everyone loves them.
Yeah, everyone loves them, and they're just like, they just show up and they're like, "We need catfish," and like the market people are like, "You got it, Smoke and Stack," and then they're like, "We need a sign," and he's like, "Grab my wife, she's making it for you," and you're just like, this movie fucking rocks. And then they're like, "Hey, we need a piano player. We're gonna go see that drunk at the train station," who they find, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna give you money," and he's like, "Listen, I've got a gig. It's good. This is a one-night thing. You're not going to pay me anymore." And then they're like, "Do you want to taste beer from Ireland?" And he tastes it and he's like, "Sign me the fuck up."
Well, and it's the chemistry between all of the characters is so fucking good.
Oh,
like they just all seem like old friends, you know?
100%. No one felt out of place in this. It was so well done. And all of them are. Hailee Steinfeld's great in it too.
My friend mentioned her because she was like, "Yeah, Michael B. Jordan was great in it," and then she said Hailee, who I know that name, but I couldn't put a face to it, and I like can't tell you what else she's been in. I just know the name.
I don't think she's done anything major. I'm pulling her up right now. She's been in a lot. Oh, yes, I do know who she is. She's in the Marvel universe now. But she was in like a lot of she was in the Pitch Perfect movies. A lot of stuff like that. Was she in Romeo and Juliet? 2013. Yikes. And she was the little girl in True Grit. But she's been in a ton of stuff. But this is like a breakout for her. For sure. Like in terms of like real acting and like a real movie, this is for sure a breakout for her.
I really hope that Sinners stands the test of time. There's no reason that it shouldn't.
No.
But I feel like movies just get forgotten so quickly now.
I know. And again, this is like so fucking good. And so they recruit a harmonica player, they recruit the catfish guy, his wife to make the signs. They recruit a million people. Also, the love interests in this, I fucking loved.
So good.
I loved the fucking clapbacks from Mary, who's Hailee Steinfeld, when she finds Smoke in the train station.
Yeah, I was a little confused by the storyline there.
Yeah.
And I need you to break down for me. Okay, I get off track so fast and then I don't know how to get it back on track.
You don't need
where are we in the movie? Because there's one scene I loved so much that was just like very brief and unimportant.
Which one?
But when he's like, I'll give you like 10 cents every minute I'm gone. And she's like, okay. And he's like, no, we're in business now. Like we talk numbers. You know, and that scene was so fucking good.
So that's when he goes to get the catfish and he's carrying around a giant fucking van full of stolen liquor. And I think it's during Prohibition is my guess, since they were hiding it. Let me confirm that.
This movie's so good.
When was Prohibition? Maybe Prohibition had already been lifted. 1920? 1933 was when it was repealed. So this is the last year of Prohibition. So that's why they were like hiding it. And like, that's why when they offered beer to the harmonica player, he was like, "Get the fuck out of here. Give me that." But yeah, they go to get the catfish and they have this younger girl watch the car. And I love that scene because it set up a few different things. It set up that they were tough because when the girl realizes who they are, she's like, "Holy shit, like I'm going to run away." And he's like, "It's fine. Like I'm not going to hurt you." And then he does that fun negotiation thing where he's like, I'm going to give you 10 cents to sit here. And
It
she's
is
like,
like the best fucking... what's the fucking term for it? I'm totally blanking on it. But like showing you who he is as a person without someone being like, Smoke is such a great guy. You know what I mean?
He has a tough exterior, but he's really softy.
Yeah, it's like the perfect, because you're right. She's scared, but then he's like, ask me for more fucking money. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right. Like stand up for
good.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, and I loved that, and I was so glad to see that. I'm not trying to even like pat myself on the back, but it made me think of it was we had an artist. She made the Mangler Expert pins that we made. What was her name? I want to say it's Sam. So sorry if you're listening to this, Sam, or whatever your name is. But she was great. But she was a college student that just listened to the show. And she was like, I made these designs for you or whatever. And I was like, how much do you want? And she was like, nothing. And I was like, don't ever say that to fucking anyone. I was like, and she was like in college and just like, you know, whatever. Like she was in college for art and like giving art away. And I was just like, no. I was like, I'm going to tell you right now, the going rate is this. And that's what I'm going to pay you. But like never accept nothing. Like no matter how much you like them, like never accept nothing. And I just love seeing that in a movie. I thought that was awesome. But no. And then he blows off he shoots that guy in the ass, and then shoots the other guy in the kneecap.
You're back. Smoke. Yeah, like not even mad that he shot him. He's just like, I didn't know you were back in town. Like what?
If I knew it was your beer, I wouldn't have done it. And then the girl's like, I told you it was his beer. And he's like, I thought you were lying.
Do we think this has Oscar potential?
It's definitely, it has to get something. It's going to get a nod in something. And I don't know what it is. It's going to be
I want to take an original screenplay.
It probably
should.
Well,
the year is young. But this script is so fucking good.
I think I could see it for script, music, and probably costume design.
Yeah.
Just because it is a period piece and there's so many cool costumes. Everyone looked cool as fuck. Yeah. Michael B. Jordan. Is Michael B. Jordan a goo goo gaga?
For sure.
Oh, like beyond a goo goo gaga. Like God tier goo goo gaga.
And what's so funny is people always, I like couldn't tell you what Michael B. Jordan was in. Like, if you said his name to me prior to this movie, like, I know the name, I know the face, but I wouldn't be able to tell you anything he was in. Like, but people always say, like, Michael B. Jordan's so fucking hot. Michael B. Jordan's so fucking hot. Goo gaga.
Goo goo gaga. No, he's unfucking real.
Wait, that was like a bonus episode that was established.
Oh. Well, if you guys don't know, goo goo gaga is the hachi machi, but for men. You go goo goo gaga for men, you go hachi machi for the ladies. That's the end of it. That's where we stand. No, he is and like, it was
the him in that costume, like, come on, you know what I mean,
dude. And then like he looks huge in the fucking costume, and then he takes it off, and then you're like, Jesus.
There's so much oral sex in this movie. It's kind of crazy.
Awesome. Wait, it's actually nuts because it's so funny because they start out with a conversation in the car about oral sex, and you're like, that's weird. And then it proceeds to be a main theme of the movie is just performing oral sex on people.
Fucking time.
Constantly. They meet Mary at the train station, who is an ex-fling of Smoke or Stack, I forget which one. And
Stack.
And she's like, the first things out of her mouth are like, you licked my, they used a weird word for vagina. What? It was like cootie or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't coochie. It wasn't coochie. It was like coot. It was like coot. She was like, you licked my coot and then fucked me so hard. And I was like, holy mackerel. But it did feel weird that she would even say the first part. Just be like, you fucked the shit out of me and then left. And she's like, you licked my coot and you fucked the shit out of me.
You know what's so funny is I forget who I talked about this to once, where I was like, oh my God, I was like young. I was like probably 13, 12 to 13. But when I think back to like any time before like the fucking 60s, in my head, everyone is like sexually repressed.
Yes.
That's how I think of it. And I feel like I was like talking to one of my brothers about it, and they were like, people have been fucking nonstop since the dawn of time. They just didn't talk about it. And I was like,
Yes.
holy fuck. So I love like seeing it in period pieces.
Well, I mean, think about like you can find like old fucking drawings from like tablets where they like are like having anal sex and like like women are sitting on men's faces. It's fucking crazy, like pissing on each other. You're like, holy shit. But we were like, nah, let's not talk about that. Which, you know what? Maybe we were better off when we just didn't put it on paper and send it out to everyone.
I
Dude,
forget
the James
exactly.
Joyce love letters to his wife,
Crazy.
like that was that was like, I feel like that was in the 30s, and he's like fart in my face and jerk me off.
Why is that like joke-core?
He's the one that like brought it to the show, and we've talked about it like several times.
That makes so much sense.
It was.
I forget what the fuck Stax says to Mary. She says something, and he's like, yeah, I also told you to leave me the fuck alone, but you didn't listen to that part. And I was like, oh God, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah. There were the back and forth between them were fucking great. I fucking loved that scene.
But I really didn't understand what they were, because then it gets brought up later that they were like raised in the same house, like her mom like raised that. I was like, what is this dynamic?
So but you know what, I think that stuff was a little vague in the movie, but it moved it along because they were like, just figure it out, like just don't fucking worry about it, we're just laying a little groundwork for you. So basically, yes, they grew up with Mary. The mom raised them sort of, because their mother died and their dad was very abusive, and so I think they took solace with Mary's family. I don't think they were fully living there. I think they were like, they would run away from their dad and like go to Mary's where their mom took care of them. But the mom did breastfeed them. That is noted. So Mary's mom did breastfeed both of them. So, but hey, you know, it takes a village. So, but that was that. And then they ended up having sex, and then he bounced, and she was not thrilled about that. Rightfully so. Smoke also has as an ex-lover in this. Annie is her name.
My favorite woman of all time.
Bad bitch. The biggest fucking breasts I have ever seen on a movie screen in my life. And I'm not a boob guy. Big boobs. I'm like, how do you even do that? I actually feel more bad because I'm like, how do you even carry that around? Poor back. The lumbar is got to be fucking burning all day. From the moment you wake up, you take a shower, you're probably like, fuck, my back. This woman's breasts are so huge. It's fucking crazy. It blew my mind. I was like fixated on them because I was like, this is crazy. Great character though. Kind of into like the hoodoo stuff of that time period and in that culture. And she does hoodoo and like magic and stuff, and we learned that Smoke also had a child with her that passed when it was a baby. And again, like moving it along but giving you what you need to know, where setting everything up, like he goes and visits Annie because he goes and visits the grave of his daughter, and they have that conversation about magic where Smoke is like, I don't fucking believe in magic, like it's bullshit. And she's like, whatever, it protected you. And he's like, well, why didn't it protect our baby? And you're like, oh, fuck. But that's all setting up for this big ending that like works.
Yeah, it totally does. But it's also like he says that, but it's not like judgmental the way he says it. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's
Michael
a guy
Jordan
that
was just so fucking good.
He's so good. It wasn't. It was like from a place of like sorrow and a place of like, I don't think they even liked the life they led. Like, they
Yeah.
were just always watching out for each other, which is a theme in this too, which is
Yeah.
the brothers always protected each other. And it seemed like they were just getting by at every aspect of their life and protecting each other. And so for me, like, that magic thing was like, hey man, like, I'm living this fucking shit life, and I can tell you it's not fucking working for us.
Yeah.
Like,
And then there's that shot of her just grabbing his dick.
oh, that was so great.
The
So
close-up.
charged. So charged. This is a low-key horny movie.
It is, but like it isn't.
It's not
There
horny,
is
but it's
so
low-key.
much sex.
Yeah.
There's
But also at the
actually
same time,
so
not
much
a lot.
sex. Well, there you have them fucking, then there's Mary and Stack fuck, then there's Sammy and that one woman fuck, the
Perlane.
singer. Yeah, they fuck. Everybody's fucking, except it feels like, yeah, this is right. You know?
It does. It does. It fucking does. So you meet them. You also get the vampire intro, which was fucking great. Introducing the vampires, introducing a group of Native Americans that I really wanted to fucking come back so fucking badly because they were so fucking hard. It was fucking unreal. Oh, I was just like, fuck. Because they show up and they're like, hey, if that guy's in your fucking house, you're dead and we're gonna leave. Bye. And then they bounce. And sure enough, they're fucking dead. They're deader than doornails. But this guy is walking around just, saying, just doing what he does to get into people's houses and eating them. And he's an Irishman.
Can you imagine, though, if you didn't... Because I don't think... I would have to watch the trailers. I don't think this movie... In the trailers, I don't think it said it was a vampire movie. Maybe I'm mistaken.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's so funny. One of my brothers... We were talking about Tarantino once, and he was like, yeah, I've seen like all of them except for True Romance. And he was like, and when I saw From Dusk Till Dawn, I don't understand this, but he was like, yeah, like my friends showed it to me, but they didn't tell me it was a vampire movie. They just told me it was written by Tarantino. So I was watching it and I was super into it. And then all of a sudden they're fucking vampires. And he was like, and it just pissed me off so bad. Like they were like he was like, it felt like they thought they were getting over on me by not telling me it was a vampire movie. So I just felt stupid and I've never watched it again since.
Hey,
but
that's
like,
an insane stance to take.
That is
they were probably like, we just suggested it. We assumed the title From Dusk Till Dawn and the vampire woman on the cover was enough to let you know that this might have been a vampire movie. And also, they don't hide the fact that it's a vampire movie. It happens pretty fucking quick. And I love that they were like, your brother's just sitting there stewing like, these motherfuckers tricked me into watching a vampire movie. Like, that's such a crazy stance.
But like, I think of that, dude, I should double whammy him and get him to watch Sinners and not say anything about it. That would be so fucking funny. Sinners like, is the perfect movie to do that with. Oh my god.
Be like, it's this beautiful period piece set in, pre-civil rights Mississippi.
Dude, I have to. Oh my god, I have to get to him before he finds out what the movie's about. But yeah, like, up to that point, if you didn't know this was a vampire movie, you'd be like, what the fuck? Because nothing about it is like horror movie is telling you that it's leading that way.
No, and the other crazy part I thought about the marketing. So the marketing to me, and maybe we're in the dark and everyone's going to be like, there's literally a trailer that says best vampire movie of all time on it. And we're going to be like, we're going to be the idiots. But from my point of view, there was a point before it was getting a lot of buzz where I was like, I don't know if I want to see that. It looks like an artsy fartsy horror movie that's going to be like imagery based type of thing. That scene set off for me where I was like, oh, this is a fucking vampire movie, like a straight up vampire movie. Like, we're gonna see vampires. Like, this is crazy. Loved that intro. Loved the Irish representation in it. Now, the Irish. I'm a second generation Irish fella. a
I'm
70,
Irish.
75% Irish DNA test. I
I don't know how
I
much
was
Irish. I don't know how Irish I am, but I know I'm Irish.
I don't know if you're in the Midwest.
My mom's
So
maiden name is O'Connor. I'm so pale.
oh, this is all true. This is all true.
And my
So
brother's like ginger. So anyway, proceed.
loved seeing the Irish representation. The Irish have a weird history in the United States, and this was probably right when they were coming to America or shortly thereafter, and definitely in the West. Um, I don't know what there's. I was thinking about this a lot last night. Like, what did the Irish represent in this movie? Um, because at that point, the Irish are a pretty progressive country where they're portrayed a lot of times as racists, but they're actually like a very I don't know what you would call it. I don't know, liberal in that sense. They're even still to this day. But at this time, they were coming in, they were being abused, and I think that led, and they were poor, right? They were very poor. And then you had the blacks in America that were very poor, and that led to a lot of conflicts between the two. So I'm curious if his reasoning for using I came up with two things. One is like a statement on like, this is like the poor of this country, like fighting each other essentially. Cause that's what it was. It was like basically fighting each other for low income housing and stuff like that. Because they were both such poor groups. And both, oppressed in some ways. And by the way, I'm not trying to say that the Irish had it worse than Black Americans. That is absolutely not what I'm trying to say. So, but there was that's what caused infighting at the time. So I was like, maybe there's something there that he's trying to say. But what I think it actually might have been, and more simplified, is, and I thought it was fucking great. The Irish vampire is the main guy. He reveals at one point, and it's very subtle. He reveals though that, and I think it's kind of vague what he was saying, but a vampire movie always needs a way for the vampire to get, the vampire's always overseas. We don't make these fucking things in America, all right, brother? We don't make fucking pure evil in America. Which is an insane thing to say in this movie.
Exclusively all that we make.
Pure evil comes from those fucking krauts in Germany. No, but they you always have to get the vampire overseas. This guy explains that he's from Ireland. So I was like, okay, that's how they got him overseas. But he also explains that his family was killed by whatever this thing was when Ireland was invaded, which would have been the British. So I think it's like, oh, like his family was killed and attacked in Ireland, and that's how he ended up this way. And then he came to the United States, which brings the vampire here, which I thought would have been a cool just way of, instead of just being like, I was transported here in a coffin and told him to send me to Mississippi. Like, I actually really liked that they used immigration as like like that's how I came over. I just fucking got on a fucking boat, baby. And came on over. Ellis Island. I thought that was cool. And there was some guilt in me in this movie because it's taking place in this awful era for Black Americans, and then the Irish guy starts singing the Rocky Road to Dublin, which is like one of my favorite songs. like I listen to that casually, that song, and he starts singing it as they're like, you're all gonna die, and I was like, oh man, this is not a good look for us right now. Not a great look. Then you get this other scene that I want to point out too, which was nuts. This episode's going to go way longer than I thought. I was like, how are we going to talk about this? They have their juke that night in the building they bought. Preacher Boy plays his blues on that guitar, and he pierces the veil. And I thought it was this scene could have gone so wrong for this movie, for any movie. Let me put it this way, not for this movie. If somebody tried to do this in another movie, it could be so fucking bad and stupid where you're like, what the fuck is happening? And it fucking just works here. And again, if you put in the Charlie Patton thing with the devil, and like, they were like, a good musician can like pierce through generations past and future. And you have this amazing scene showing like the history of like black music and including futuristic like electric guitars and rappers and
Hey,
stuff.
guess what?
What?
It blew out one of the fucking speakers in my theater.
No way. No way.
Swear to God. Swear to God.
It was big. Like, it's a
it
big
blew
thing.
out the speaker that was closest to me. So like every scene after that got past a certain decibel, it was like, yeah, it literally blew. I was like, there's no fucking way. Because at first I thought it was just like part of it, because it's like this weird, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it went back to dialogue and I was like, God fucking damn it, Sammy.
So Sammy does this. He pierces the veil. It really doesn't do anything per se in the movie, but it's revealed that the lead vampire has targeted Sammy specifically because he was like, basically like somehow Sammy would be able to. And again, I just love that they don't gloss and like sit on this shit, because this could have been a 20-minute scene of this guy explaining why he wants Sammy to pierce the veil with his music, and like, but like he was like, I've got people I need to bring back or whatever it is. And I was like, fucking cool. All right.
Yeah.
Done and done. I'm happy. But it gives him a reason to be like, I want fucking Sammy, and why we're staying here, not just going to the town to eat everyone else. Like, I need that fucking kid. I thought that was awesome. The vamps show up, they play a bunch of Irish songs, and Mary gets got. She's like one of the first people to get got, and surprisingly.
It's just so funny though, like the characters are so dynamic, and like the characters are just so fucking good. Yeah. Like it's just so crazy. And it's like I can't remember if it's Smoke or Stack, but I want to say it's like supposed to be the same character, where Sammy's in that one room having sex with that one woman, and one of them comes by and is like, listen to my little cousin Sammy, and then a little bit later is like holding a gun to him, and it's like, yeah, these characters would do both of these things, you know what I mean? It has that familial like little brother, but then it's also like, I'll still fucking blow your brains out. You know what I mean?
And all of them have trauma, and specifically those twins have like crazy trauma from their dad, like beating the living shit out of them. And they are all so dynamic. It's not one dimensional at all. Love that the bouncer's name is Cornbread. Cornbread takes the piss like, so loud that it rivals Damian Leon at Monster Mania. I wrote that joke down in the theater. I don't know. I don't think so. We might have to save it for a bonus. Well, we probably have. I don't
know if you have. Okay, yeah. That is one of my favorite stories of all time. So at some point that definitely needs to be told. But it's Cornbread's dick out. I was trying to tell. It's such a dark scene. I think you see his dick.
I don't think you see Cornbread's dick. If they do, that would be a wild move.
I'm saying it again on Monday with Zach. I'm whispering because it's a surprise, but I'm seeing it again on Monday, so I'll let you know.
Okay, tell me if you see his fucking hog, Cornbread's hog.
It's just so interesting. Like when Mary comes there, Sammy's like, "Oh, fuck," and then everyone's like, "Mary, like Mary, oh my god, whatever." And then Sammy's like, "You got to get out of here," and she's like, "You're little Sammy, like." Let me buy you a drink. You're old enough to drink that. It's just the chemistry is so fucking good.
Well, and that's the other part. Is like they are like all very like, and that's another part of it is like they're like, we're family. Like that you keep hearing that, but it feels like it. Like you don't. There's no one there that you're like you don't fit in with this group. Like you're literally like these guys all. Right. They're all sending it. It's all full send. All those actors in this. So yeah, so then Annie is finally the one that is like, hey, by the way, these are fucking vampires, because they start attacking him. Cornbread's door scene is the best scene maybe in the movie, because Cornbread got Mary got kills one of them, smoker
Stack.
They she runs out after being shot like 12 times, and then they're like, hey, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is crazy.
How quickly Smoke is just ready to fucking blow holes in her is so fucking good too, because you know that they have this crazy history and are like long standing, but he's just immediately like
blow holes in her. He pulls out 2 pistols and unloads both. Just
turns her into
so
cheese.
Sick.
Turns her into Swiss cheese so fast. He doesn't even fucking think about it. Like, it's
and he's
so
got his
good.
Suspenders on. Oh, what a hunk.
It's so fucking good.
It's fucking great. And then Annie, again, she's our mangle expert here, but it's not heavy-handed and it doesn't feel weird. She's just like, hey, I know about these things called hates. I think these are fucking vampires, though. Then Cornbread shows up to the door and is like, you want to let me in? Dude, the drunk piano player, harmonica player. Yeah, Delta Slim. He was perfection. And the comic relief of that movie. I mean, there's a lot of great lines in that were funny, but like Delta Slim beginning to end, you're just like, that guy, I wish I saw this guy every day just for him to talk shit and like say insane stuff. And he shows up and is like, you want to invite me in? And Delta Slim's like, your fat ass has been pushing your way in and out all fucking night. Why can't you do it now? But I did love, though, the commitment of it, because I was like, oh, God, this is going to be so corny where his eyes are going to light up and he's going to be like, fine, I'll come back for you. And you're like, oh, whatever. And he plays it cool the whole time and is just like, what the fuck? Ultimately, Michael B. Jordan, he's like, well, at least pay me. And Michael B. Jordan reaches his hand out and he just fucking rips him out of the fucking house and tries to attack them, but they save themselves. They also attack the other Michael B. Jordan, Smoke or whatever, and she throws garlic water on him.
Is that what it was?
It was pickled garlic, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was pickled garlic. So she threw the like pickled garlic with the water on him and he like reacted and ran away. And then she forces everyone to eat raw garlic to prove that they're not vampires. Has that happened in a movie yet? I would actually love to know.
I'm sure. Hit us up.
I thought it was fucking hilarious and also kind of an awesome way of being like, hey, eat this fucking garlic clove, you motherfucker. And then again, Slim has like a fucking heart attack. And they're like, oh my God. And he's like, I'm so fucking drunk right now. I was like, dude, I get that. If I was drunk and somebody gave me a clove of garlic to eat, it'd be over. They'd be like, he's a fucking vampire, because I'd just be projectile vomiting all over everyone. Oh, man. That was good. The vampire. I also loved her explanation of vampires and like hates and stuff, where vampires are worse than hates because they have to live with the hate of the world. Like, they're still themselves. They understand hate. And like, I was like, oh man, that's fucking crazy. You get the Rocky Road to Dublin. Vamps want Sammy to bring people back. I don't know if this is a normal vampire thing. Gaining the knowledge. So it's like
no, that's a thing.
A hive mind? It is?
Yeah.
Oh, that I really liked that. Because then because I was like, when they showed up and they're singing the Irish ditties with the 2 Southerners, I was like, how the fuck do they know this song? And then they're all singing the Rocky Road to Dublin in Irish brogues, and you're like, huh. And then you find that out, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's fucking sick. Question, would you join the Vamps? Because the Vamps did this. The Vamps did the same thing a vamp does, which is like, hey, come with us. You live forever. It's a fucking blast.
Yeah, no. No.
Oh, I would. In a second.
I'm like, no, way too prideful. You know what I mean?
I mean, my thing is I don't want to be alive ever, but I especially don't want to be alive for that long. But I would just sit out in the sun. You know, when I was tired of it, I would just go hang out in the sun and just be done with it. That's it. That's it. But oh no, I'm joining the Vamps like instantly. But I'm not hanging out there. I'm not worried about that. I'm just gonna go do some shit.
I think you're not gonna like this.
Oh boy.
I think no, never mind.
Say it. Say it.
I can't think of like an eloquent way to say it.
Just say it.
I think you are such a pussy that you would turn into a vampire immediately.
Immediately?
Yeah.
Turn into one.
Like, yeah, let yourself be turned.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
I know.
Oh, but because I'm a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure that would also be a factor in it. If I was surrounded in that building, I'm just going to be like, guys, I don't think you need me. I'm just going to walk out. I'll see you guys later. Because, I mean, it's been noted many times on this podcast. Like, there's been, like, the good horror movies where you're like, what would you do in this situation? I'd be like, I'd probably just pass out or just kill myself because I can't handle the stress of that situation. I'm not fighting for my life. Just take me. Just whatever. It's too stressful for me. No, I'm going in for sure.
I think I would fight till the death.
Yeah. And then, well, good for you. I'd also want to be turned and not be like, I wouldn't want to be like shredded, you know?
Yeah.
Ultimately, the vampires do get in because the woman that owns the marketplace, her husband gets got, and then she's just like, we're going to fight him. And her speech to Michael B. Jordan is the best. She's like, you think you're fucking tough. You went into the war. You fucking shot 2 guys outside my store for stealing a bottle of beer, and you're not going to fight these fucking guys? Like, what are you talking about? And rallies them. And then ultimately is just like, come in. And you're like, oh. I would have killed her, though, for doing that. I hated her for that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like, at least come up with a plan first.
Consult the other people. You know what I mean? Like, she just is emotionally driven when she does it.
Right.
If I were anyone else in that room, I'd be like, there's no fucking way. I'd be so fucking furious. They didn't even have time to like figure it out, really.
They didn't. They just grabbed whatever the fuck they had. That part might have been my only frustration with it, that no one was like, hey, you fucking jerk. Like,
right.
We could have come up with a little bit of a plan before you.
However, I almost feel like it adds because she's so upset about her husband that it's just like an emotional response. You know what I mean? And it's like, it works.
I thought the same thing too. I thought that side of it too, because I'm like trying to compare it to other vampire movies, and I'm like, man, if you were in that state and you were fucking terrified and all this shit had happened and you just lost your husband, like, would you yell, come in, just out of like, not even being like, I'm going to invite them in, just being like, I want to kill you, like, come in, you know? Like, I don't even know if she knew what she had done.
I don't think she did at all. Like, it was just a fucking knee-jerk reaction, and I 100% think I would do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. They make quick work of the group, though, which is crazy.
That thing confused me a little bit, because by the time the vampires are like allowed in, it's just Slim, Smoke, Annie, Sammy. What is Sammy's girl's name? Do we know?
Perline.
Yeah. And then the woman who yells, come in.
Yes, the woman from the market. I don't know her name.
So what? There's 5 of them, I think.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 max.
But when the vampires come in,
there's like 100 of them.
Well, yes, but I mean, they're like killing humans. There's like
Yes.
carnage, but it's like they're eating people's necks, and it's like, but you're not killing any of the 6 people that were in here.
I think it was just a lot of fighting. Yeah, no, I think it was just a lot of like tossing people around and stuff. I don't know. But I mean, they do all get got for the most part. It's basically just Sammy, Perline, and Smoke, or
My Sweet Annie.
Smoke, yeah, Smoke.
My Sweet Annie.
Sweet Annie. That was a brutal scene. Hated that. Loved that the guitar at the end, smashing it over. Sammy smashes his precious guitar in the vampire's head, the lead
We're
vampire's
skipping
head.
ahead a little bit.
Okay, well, what else do you want to say about that?
Well, you have the whole Smoke and
I stopped
Stack.
taking notes because I was so fucking overwhelmed by everything.
Know. Well, you have like Smoke and Stack. And now
yes, they have a moment where they have to fight each other.
Yeah, because Stack's a vampire now.
Yep. And Smoke kills him.
He doesn't.
Wink, wink, wink. But you're left to believe he does. You're left to believe he does.
Yeah, but then Annie gets got, and before she can turn, Smoke just stabs her in the heart.
Yep.
Because she asks him to.
Yep, she made him promise to do that.
That's
Perline
very
gets
Until
got.
Dawn. Or not Until Dawn. From Dusk Till Dawn, I mean.
From Dusk Till Dawn. Perline gets got. That's sad because there was like this great chemistry between Preacher Boy and her.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have
everyone
Slim cutting
Slim
his
gives
wrist.
himself up. I love that. He like crowd surfs on the vampires for some reason. But it's a carnage, and ultimately in the end it's Smoke and Sammy, and Smoke is like, get the fuck out of here, like go, like if you can make it till sunlight you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And he gets out, but he gets got by the lead vampire and then smashes his guitar on his head. But the big silver plate on the guitar goes into his fucking skull and starts like frying him. Oh, I thought that was fucking amazing. But it doesn't work all the way, and you're like, damn, how's it going to end? And then Smoke fucking stakes him through the heart, and the sun comes up.
There's a callback at some point, not a callback, but where they say that, I forget who says it to Sammy, that it wasn't actually that guy's guitar, and it was actually like Smoke and Stack's dad's guitar.
Yes, correct. Yeah. That's revealed, like, I think that's revealed not at the very end, but like probably right before this scene. Yeah, it's not Charlie Patton's guitar.
Oh, this comes after. The shootout comes after this.
Yes.
Yeah, you would think this is the end of the movie. No, the best is still yet to come, baby.
The best is still yet to come. So Sammy goes back to his house by himself because Smoke's like, I got some shit to take care of. And that leads us to the beginning of the movie where he goes and like sees his dad who had warned him about all of this shit. And now he's got this broken guitar handle. That's all he's got left. He goes and does that. And then Smoke is like, hey, you want to see something fucking crazy? And starts pulling out all of these fucking guns that he had stolen from the mob. And you're like, what the fuck? Oh, and this is what we failed to reveal too. There is a reveal in the movie where they're like, I forget who tells them, but they're like, hey, do you really think a white guy is going to sell a black person a building? Like,
it was the Irish vampire. Because remember the couple,
yes,
the couple who he originally turned,
yes,
they're KKK.
Yep.
And he's like, it just so happened that this is the house I ended up at. And so he is like the mingle expert there, where he is like,
he puts those pieces together.
Yeah, he was like, they're part of it. Like, it was their dad or something that sold it to you, and the Ku Klux Klan was going to come here and like clean you guys out.
Yeah, like kill him.
Yeah, who says it? That he's like, it's not a juke, it's a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, yep. And which again, earlier in the movie when they're buying this building, they're like, something's wrong with these floorboards.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it's literally a slaughterhouse. They trap Black Americans in there and fucking kill them. which is horrifying to think about.
I love. There is nothing better in a movie. I swear to God, I think about this all the time. I love like a KKK member, like KKK members getting it. I love Nazis getting it. When it's done by like one person, it's even better. Just one fucking dude laying people out left and right. It's the fucking best. It's my favorite like trope in a movie of all time.
Oh, it's the greatest, because like who doesn't want to see that happen? Who doesn't want to see that fucking happen? And revenge in general, when it's done well, is just the best feeling in the fucking world. Oh my God. I saw The Devil as like one of my favorites with that, where the killer kills this guy's wife, and then he starts chasing the killer, and then it turns into like the killer being like, hey man, you're a fucking psychopath. And like the killer's a serial killer. He's like, dude, you're fucking nuts. Because he's bringing him to the brink of death and then letting him get up and try to keep running away from him. And he's like, yeah, go do your thing.
There was a quote in Freaky Tales that I loved. One of the segments is about like a basketball player's family gets killed. And so he's like getting his revenge. And one of like the bad guys, the basketball player comes and starts killing people. And then one of the bad guys is like, this guy's fucking out here like killing everyone. And then the lead bad guy is like, yeah, you killed his family. Like, you're on his timetable now. And I fucking love that so much. It's so hard.
Love that shit.
It's so hard. Shit. And you have like the callback. You have the callback to him like being in the war and shit, because he is like on the ground.
Oh, dude, that was fucking there. So yeah. So so we learned that like the Ku Klux Klan were going to do that. So then Smoke is there laying out guns, and we see the Klan come up, and they're like, "Let's get them, boys." And they're like, the door's locked. That's weird. And then bullets start fucking raining. And he's just in the fucking woods unloading. And then, dude, it contained everything I fucking love. There's nothing better also in one of these scenes than somebody being like, oh, ran out of bullets. Don't worry. I buried a gun. And like just pulling something out of a hole that you've pre-planted to just fucking, and he pulls out like a fucking Tommy gun, and it's just like fucking murdering everybody. He
throws a fucking grenade at one point.
Oh yes, dude. It was everything I loved. And you're just, it was in that moment where I was like, is this a perfect movie?
Dude, and I feel like I see a lot of shit in theaters, and I have my lanes that I normally stick to, but if I have the time, I'll pretty much see anything in theater as long as it's not like a kids movie or like a rom-com. Like obviously I prioritize seeing like horror shit, and then thrillers, and then probably like war movies, but I'll really see anything that's out if I have time for it. I feel like they just don't do like the shootouts and shit like they used to.
There's a lot missing from movies now that are just, it's such a fucking bummer, because there's no reason to include this scene. There's no reason. You could actually have done the whole movie without it. It made the movie, it just was like the fucking cherry on top. It was like, what? I'm in love with this movie. Loved it.
It's so,
you just fall in love in that fucking movie. Oh my God. And Smoke gets shot, he dies, but in a way you're just like, man, like these guys were kind of so tortured that a big part of this movie was him and his daughter, who had passed away when she was a baby, and obviously Annie dying, and he like sees them at the end, and it's not this like gratuitous like laying on the ground like like, yeah, it's just, he sees Annie and the baby, and she's like, will you hold him? And he's like, yeah. And
well, no, it's even better than that. It's better than that, because he asks the guy who sold him that for a cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's smoking the cigarette. The main KKK dude is still like alive but shot. And then Annie is like, put out that cigarette and I'll let you hold her or him or whatever. I don't want the smoke getting on it. And then he's like, okay. And then he just fucking unloads a gun into the guy and then
Yeah,
puts out
the guy
cigarette
the
and, like,
guy
goes pulls
says
his-
something too. That's the
Yeah.
craziest part, because he's in this like, well, you presume like this like near death state because he's seeing his dead wife and baby. And then like the guy says something like, "So you're gonna let me go?" And then he like snaps out of it and it's just like and then goes back. And you're like, this fucking rocks. This movie
Dude, it's so
fucking
good.
rules. But it's such a weird death because as much as you love Smoke, you're like happier for him.
Yeah.
You're so happy for him. Like it's just like, oh, it's just a great scene. And then Sammy, the last we see of Sammy is he doesn't rejoin his father in the church. He drives away with his broken guitar, which leads to a post-credit sequence. Fun fact, which you probably didn't recognize. The bar is called Perline's.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yep. The bar is
Aw.
Perline's. He owns the bar and plays there. It's what is it, 93? He's like in his 80s or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's playing the blues at his bar. And somebody is like, "Hey, can I let these people in? They want to see you." Which was a nice touch for vampires, right? Like they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, can you let us in?" And it is Stack and Mary together forever through eternity.
I have, okay, so obviously I love this.
Yeah.
And like Sammy's still playing the blues and like he
Yeah.
has the scar, he has the scars on his face and shit.
Yep.
And it's like so fucking good. I was kind of like, it just didn't exactly fit the tone of the rest of the movie to have Mary and Stack come and just be like, "We just wanted to see you, man." It's like, wait, what?
I mean, post-credit was a choice anyway in such a great movie. I ultimately liked it because there was a weird moment with Smoke and Stack when they're fighting, where Stack kind of comes to and isn't the like murderous vampire. And like they have like this weird like thing. And Stack reveals in this scene, he's like, "He promised me not to hurt you ever." And so I was like, okay, cool. And then it seems like that they kind of like, and my guess is the hive mind, you had that Irish guy leading it. And he was the one filled with like all of that rage and like, let's fucking burn it down. So when he died, that's when Stack maybe like was like, "Hey, I'm good. I'm cool now." But yeah, no, I did it was so funny because Stack's like, "We have all your records. We fucking love you, man. Like, you're the best." But weirdly, he asks to turn him. He's like, "Do you want to be turned?" And I do think in that moment, it wasn't so much of like a, "Hey, remember me?" It was like, my brother basically asked me to look out for you. And now I'm just going to offer you this because you're on like your last legs anyway. Like you're almost there anyway. So.
Yeah, he gives him a sniff and he's like, "You don't have much time left."
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I liked.
I like that too. And you know, Sammy has a great fucking like retort there with just being like, "No, like I've had nightmares every night since that. Like the trauma continued on." And what does he say to him at the very end? But regardless, Stack just leaves and is like, "Peace."
But
Stack
it's like
and Mary looking hot as fuck in that moment too.
But it's like this, I don't.
It wasn't necessary by any means.
He's like, before the sun went down, that was the best day of my life.
Oh, that's what it was. I thought that tied it all together for me.
Yeah.
Because I do think I didn't realize that it wasn't tied together until he says it.
Yeah.
Because you do see his fucking joy, like, because he was been so repressed by his like dad who was a preacher, and like This is all he wanted, was to like play the blues. And there are moments in that scene before the vampire attack where like it'll just cut to Sammy and he's just got like these eyes that are like, wow, like I can't believe this is happening right now. Like I'm going down on this gal Perline. She just let me get down there unwashed, baby. I'm saying that is, I mean, if you're listening to this, you've probably seen the movie, so that's not like a weird thing. It's like
Perline was also married.
That is a weird thing that is like also like not really
Also,
discussed.
Like, an unnecessary detail. You know, she didn't have to be.
No, she did not have to be at all. But yeah, no, that tied it up, and him asking, I loved the flashbacks and stuff, but him asking Stack like, was it the same for you? And he was like, yeah, it was. And it's like, fuck, that's like fucking beautiful. Cause it was like the first day they were free. And I was like, man, that is fucking a beautiful way to like tie this all up and like wrap it all up there. Loved it. Fucking Sinners.
Great.
Dude. Came out of the blue.
I love the idea of vampires having to like change their style with the times.
I love it too. Again, like that's the other part of all of this is like showing up in like a fucking giant robe or like Dracula's suit and being like, what, I'm normal. And everyone being like, hey, I don't think so.
I love a cape. I really do love a cape more than anything. Not practical though.
No, by no means is it practical. Have you watched What We Do in the Shadows, the show?
No.
That's a fun watch. You should watch that. But I've been showing some of the episodes to James. Some of them are so inappropriate, it's crazy. But I showed him one episode. It's season 1, and they go to the Vampire Council, and they got all of these actors from all these different vampire movies to be vampires in the council, playing the parts from their movies, but without like saying their name, but referencing them. Like Wesley Snipes shows up and they're like, hey, he kills vampires. And they're like, yeah, but he has a vote. He's got like half a vote. And Paul Rubens is in it too. Pee-wee. Because he was a vampire in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he's got the same fucking wig, but he's like 60 years old, and it's like, hey.
Do you have a favorite vampire of all time? I feel like, why was I thinking about this recently? Because I was trying to make that like Screambox Instagram post, but vampires of all like the creatures and critters that run around the horror land, vampires are for me the ones that are most synonymous with like childhood Halloween.
Yeah.
So it's
I
just
agree
like
with that.
I love them, but I really love like a classic Cape Oregon vampire.
So that's what I'm thinking. I think that my favorite vampire, as weird as it is the cornier ones. Like just a Dracula, like Monster Squad Dracula is probably my favorite. That's probably who I think of the most.
Who fucking played the Hammer Dracula?
Peter Cushing.
Yeah, Peter Cushing.
He's all right. What else?
I always think of like Bright Night Vampire. What's his fucking name? Peter.
Oh, I forget his name.
Or Vincent. It's something. It's.
No, I think you're right. Is it Peter No, wait. That's the.
It's something name. Like heavy-handed. No, it is. It's something heavy-handed like that.
Wait, are you asking about the character or the actor?
The actual character's name.
Oh. Peter Vincent is the guy on TV.
Oh, okay.
Jerry Dandridge is the vampire.
Okay.
Played by Chris Sarandon. You know, when I'm looking through these vampire movies, like Sinners has to be like the best fucking one. These
Yeah.
movies are not great. Like,
I know. I'm trying to think. Let me look something up real fast. Well, you have Vampires by John Carpenter.
You do have that.
I'm looking at the like VHS post I posted because the ones I had on tape were Fright Night, Dracula 2000, Salem's Lot, Dracula 2, Dracula Dusk Till Dawn, Vampires.
I don't like the Lost Boys vampire. Visually, it is just like a Dracula. Like, give me a classic Dracula for like my favorite vampire. Because there's no favorite vampire in this movie. The Irish guy, though, I do love him.
I need to go back and watch Lost Boys again. I haven't watched Lost Boys in such a long time.
I know. I was like, I think I'm going to have to go watch a bunch of vampire movies now. Which I feel like after like 2, I'm going to be like, you know what? I think I'm good.
I know. I'm looking at a Letterboxd list right now because I feel like there's got to be like some big ones that we're fucking missing.
There were not, because every list has like the same fucking junk.
My best friend is a vampire is fun.
I don't know that one.
Vampire's Kiss is fun.
Vampire's Kiss.
It's Nick Cage.
What about Spike from Buffy the Show? What about the Count from Sesame Street?
Best. Very fuckable. Oh my god. Hello. The Night Flyer.
The Night Flyer. Not on the list. Not making the list. Not making the cut.
Night Flyer is at the top of my list.
No, Night Flyer to me is like when werewolf movies, they're just fucking wolves, and you're like, hey, I'm fucking good. A vampire isn't a monster.
Night Flyer is the best movie ever made.
I love that you just saw Sinners and said that out
loud. No, Night Flyer. We need to come back to that. I wanted Joe and Sean to watch it. It was slated to be one of our last ones. Slated to be an episode, and then Joe bounced. But like, maybe you and I should do a Patreon bonus on Night Flyer.
I'm fine with that.
I fucking love Night Flyer so much.
I'm so fine with that.
But I wonder if Sinners. I wonder if is Sinners big enough to bring a vampire movement in 2026?
Well,
do you think that studios are going to be like, vampires are hot again?
Maybe briefly, but it didn't have like, you had Nosferatu and then you had this, and now it's going to be like, oh my God, this is where we're going. So maybe the combo is going to do it, but I feel like they usually come in like a tighter cluster and they would have already been made.
Yeah.
But isn't there another vampire movie coming out?
Maybe.
I don't know. It's so weird how that fucking happens.
I know.
Hive mind. No, I'm gonna have to dig into that. But anyway, all right, let's wrap this episode up. So that was Sinners. A+. A fucking plus.
I know. I think I'm gonna give it 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Oh, it's a 5-star. It's a 5-star. From beginning to end, you're having a blast.
Yeah, it fucking has to be. Yeah. If you could make 2 hours and 17 minutes feel like 10 minutes, it's a 5-star movie.
I could have watched it again immediately after.
Yeah.
Like that to me, that was the sign where I was like, if I had it at my house, I would have just run it back and rewatched it again last night.
I know. Zach saw it. My brother saw it a couple of days ago. And then he called me today and we were talking about it a little bit, but I'm trying to get him to come to my mom's for Mother's Day. And
so you're holding that over? I won't talk to you about Sinners unless you come here.
No, I'm holding the fact that she just bought him a car over his head so that he'll come hang out with me. But I was like, because he fucking loves it. And I was like, we can go see Sinners again. And he was like, God damn it.
Wait, so when
Now that's our plan.
when I told you I might go see it again next week, you were like, "You're fucking insane." Now you get it.
No, you're fucking insane because you're not gonna go see it again next week.
That's probably true. Now I'm gonna try and do it out of spite, but I kind of want to show it to James.
Honestly, like,
There's besides like the weird sex stuff, which isn't that crazy. It's a little crazy. Besides the sex stuff, to me, it's like, I don't know, just like the period piece, the way they talk about the issues from that period. Like, I don't know. To me, it seems like a really cool movie for like a kid to see where they'd be like, wow.
I want to know what, like, the normies are saying about Sinners. I want to know what the allure is to, like, general audiences. Because obviously there are a million things that could be the allure, but I want to know, like, specifically what it is that, like, one neighbor is saying to another neighbor to, like, go see this movie.
I think that's what it is. I think it's just like, it's definitely word of mouth.
Yeah.
It's 100% word of mouth that's moving this. But like, you're right. Like, what are people saying? And I think they're just probably being like, this was the best movie I've ever seen in a theater. like, I don't know. Like, what? I feel like it's just us going up to people. I mean, we're going to find out in a week as we talk to people, and we'll have an answer for everyone next week. Cause we'll be like, I saw somebody at a grocery store and I was like, you have to see Sinners. And they ran away from me.
No, I know. It's so fun though. Like, I feel like the blockbusters now are always just like superhero movies.
It is.
That is what gets people to the theater these days. And it's so fun having Sinners be the talk of the town. And like, that's what everyone's going to see. Because I feel like the last time this many people who don't care about movies were at the theater in like such hordes was Oppenheimer or Barbie.
It has to be, right?
I know. Like, I'm trying to think if there's any. Well, Nosferatu, I guess, was pretty big,
but not. I feel like this, just based on the seats alone that are available.
Yeah.
There are just people going, and the crowd at my theater was not the crowd you would anticipate.
Well, I'm looking up biggest blockbusters, but I said to Sean, because it's kind of become a hobby now, like checking the center seats. Like I do it in the morning. Yeah, I will keep doing it for a while. Like when I get up in the morning and I'm just like checking my messages, I always check to see what the center screenings are looking like for that day. But it's so funny because neither you or I live in like a city. I don't even live near a city. These are just like, it's a suburban area. And the fact that like it's so sold out, when it's like I live in a very suburban area and all three theaters have been like sold the fuck out since release.
Yeah, no. All right, so 2024, 2023, I got it here from Box Office Mojo. So 2024, you had Inside Out, Deadpool and Wolverine, Wicked, Moana 2, Despicable Me 4, Beetlejuice, Dune Part 2, Twisters, Godzilla, Kong, Kung Fu Panda 4, Bad Boys,
so it's just
Ride or
fucking
Die.
It's IP.
It's all 100%. Like, what's the one? It Ends With Us is on here.
IP. Oh, but it's like, and even Barbie and Oppenheimer were fucking huge, but technically both IPs.
And none of these had the movement that this does, like the buzz. Like there was no buzz. Like Beetlejuice, no, it didn't have the buzz.
I know, fuck. I'm trying to think, dude, and looking at
then 2023, it's the Barbie.
I mean,
Oppenheimer.
I just saw this name on the list, and I'm curious your thoughts. This came out a few years ago, so I don't really remember. A Quiet Place? Is that comparable?
No, I don't think it
does.
Think like so? It did big box office, but it wasn't, to me, it wasn't this like weird underdog thing. It was just like this horror movie that like gained traction somehow.
Yeah.
And I would also argue, like, what is that up against in the theaters during that time? Like, was that just like hey, like this is out and it looks fun type of thing.
Did so many fuck, when did Get Out come out? 2018, 2017?
Yeah.
I feel like that period, my finger wasn't so on the pulse of like the theaters. Like I think I was going a little less frequently then. So I don't know. I know that Get Out was like a cultural phenomenon. I don't know what the theaters were looking like for it.
Man, if you look at these fucking movies, you're just like, this is
Dude, I know. I just scrolled through a list and it's like, what the fuck is this? There's a book called Summer of 84. Is that correct? Hold on. What the fuck is it? Or maybe it's just the 80s? There's a book of no, fuck. Now I need to find this. It's a book about the summer that had like the summer of 1982 because it was I know ET's like mentioned in it. Summer of 1982 where it's talking about the blockbuster movie seasons because you had ET, Blade Runner, Star Trek 2. And it's just like God, we don't fucking have that shit anymore.
No,
we don't
yeah,
have
this
it.
one was definitely way different.
But like what makes a blockbuster?
Well,
is it just stroke of luck?
What sucks now is it's like a lot of programming and fandom, in my opinion, and that like kind of sucks. Where it's like we have to go see this because I'm the Marvel. We love Marvel. We love Disney. Like we have to go see this. And I feel like I'm so glad that the Marvel movies have like kind of been tanking recently because it's like, hey, you can't just fucking rely on that shit. Like, and they're always going to be big and they're pumping like so much fucking money into it. But to me, like, this is a fucking blockbuster. Like, this is like, people are like, we have to go see this because somebody else told us to go see it.
Well, and I think all of the elements of realism and like the character dynamics and shit like that makes it more digestible to people who aren't like genre fans because I feel I say this to everyone I fucking meet. And I didn't even mention it. It wasn't like a great theater experience, but the best movie I ever saw in the theater, I think, was Barbarian. Like Barbarian was like a holy fuck, I need to talk to everyone about what I just saw, which like doesn't happen a lot. But that one is so genre specific. Like that one's not really I don't know that you show that to someone normal. It's kind of like a lot for someone who's not into horror. Whereas Sinners, it's mild enough. And there's other things driving the plot that someone who's not into horror can watch it and really like it.
Yeah. What about the It movies?
Big, but remakes. Yeah, big, but remakes.
Oh, yeah. What about, okay, here's a good one. John Wick movies. Those cleaned up. Those were original and were just like, hey, we're gonna make this like fun fucking movie to go see.
Yeah. See, I've never fucking seen it, so it's like
they're so great.
Well, all of the fucking, but again, not to this caliber. Every Jason Statham movie gets like big. Like the geezer teasers are beloved by myself included. And I feel like those always have an audience, but they die out after the second weekend.
Yeah.
And it's like Marshall was saying, like, you know, by the second or third week if a movie is like good or not, if it's made it.
Yeah. This is really a fucking bummer, man. Dude,
yeah,
Smile fucking cleaned up.
Smile did clean up. I'll be curious though, because like when I say I go to the movies like 4 or 5 times a week, like that's not an exaggeration. I'm at the theater most days out of the week. So like it's part of my morning routine that I check what's playing. So I'm like very familiar with how long the movies are in my theater, and they don't get held over long at fucking all. No. Sinners, I'm curious how long it'll be extended for.
I am
and
too.
When it'll finally leave. Do you think it has like a month left?
A month is probably a stretch.
Because sometimes when something's really big, they'll break it down to one showing a day and then get rid of it. Like they taper it out.
Yeah. Here's what's crazy is, so they started out, Sinners starts out huge with 19 million opening night. And then it obviously goes down over a week. And then the next week they hit 18, they hit 13 again. And
I
then
wonder if
May
he got the
3rd,
Spielberg call.
May 3rd they hit 13 again. It's
I wonder
like,
if I need to write him and ask if he got the Spielberg call.
what's the Spielberg call?
Let me tell you what the Spielberg call
Okay,
is.
and then we gotta fucking wrap up.
The Spielberg call, I've heard from my sources. There's a thing, I heard it on the Movie Crypt first. I think they had to have been talking about Jordan Peele because it happened there, but that's how I learned about it and I looked into it. Apparently, it is like widely known if you're a director in Hollyweird that if something you do gets like so successful, you get a Spielberg call. And apparently that's like a thing that is like your moment. Like if you get a call from Spielberg, it's like, okay, holy fuck. And Jordan Peele was on the Movie Crypt before Get Out came out. And in that episode, he's talking to them about how he has a script, but the studio doesn't want him to direct it. And Adam and Joe are like, don't fucking do that. If you want to direct it, go to a different studio. And it was Get Out. So he came back on the podcast to like be like, you guys are the reason I directed that movie. And it like changed my life. Like I was totally ready to just let someone else like take it. But they said in like a later episode that when Jordan Peele came to the office, got a phone call, stepped outside. And when he came back in, they were like, the way they tell it, they're like, we saw his face and knew. Like the look on his face, we knew. And he was like, one of us, I forget who it was, asked, did you get the call? And he was like, I got the call. And it's like, that's the Spielberg call. So I wonder if, what is the director's name I'm forgetting?
Of Sinners?
Yeah.
Fuck, I always forget. It's Ryan Coogler.
He deserves the call. And I want to know if he's going to get it.
He definitely will. Have you seen like Tom Cruise like randomly going out to promote Sinners?
No.
You haven't seen that?
No.
He's been like going out and like posting pictures on like Instagram being like, I'm seeing Sinners again. like it's the best movie I've ever seen.
That's so fucking funny. I love that. Oh, I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
That's so I wonder if he'll be doing the same thing for Clown and a Cornfuck. I'll be checking my feed to see if Tom Cruise is posting about seeing Cloud in a cornfield.
Yeah, he has like a very Lexi picture of him standing in front of the Sinners poster holding his movie ticket pointing at it. Congratulations, Ryan Michael, and to the entire cast and crew. Must see in a cinema and stay through the end credits.
I love that. I need you to see Freaky Tales so bad. It's not Tom Cruise, it's Tom Hanks, but Tom Hanks has the best cameo of all time. I started
watching it. I'm very excited.
You started watching it and you didn't tell me?
Yeah, well, I didn't get far into it, so I'm gonna start it over.
Okay, fuck. God damn it. Now I want to record an episode on that when you're done.
Okay, we can do that. So we're gonna wrap this up. Hollyweird, fucking longest episode ever. What there was something. Oh, we're doing probably the next episode will be Clown in the Cornfield.
Yes. So that
Do you
comes
think
out.
We'll have problems getting seats in that?
No. Fuck, I just had another question to ask you. I know you're trying to wrap it up. Does opening night not count Thursday night?
Yeah, Thursday night isn't a release night.
Yeah, but my theater always does like 5 showings of a movie opening on Friday.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure yours does too. It's like a new thing.
I think it's called, I think they call it like a it counts in the total, but I think they don't like count it. Maybe it's part of opening weekend, but they also specify it as like pre-release screenings or something like that.
Mine doesn't.
What do you mean?
Every movie that gets released, I go on Thursday night to see new movies because it's less crowded than Fridays, and
Continue.
movies are always just put out on Thursday nights now.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but I think there's a word for it in terms of like how they count it.
Oh, okay.
Like there's opening weekend, and then they have like this, like, I forget what they call it, but it's like pre-release showings, and then that's
okay.
like its own number that they kind of look at and like base some of the success on that number.
Okay, so yeah, we're doing Clown and Cornfield.
Yep.
Next, JDP just posted that he went to the release for some reason, like the premiere.
That's,
I guess, his
Sinners,
+1.
Sinners get Tom Cruise, and Clown in the Cornfield gets JDP.
Stop.
JDP should remake the Tom Cruise photo holding the ticket.
Oh my god, I'm pretty sure he did, but like, I guess my +1 invitation got lost in the mail. It's fine. Must be the post office's fault, Jeff. But yeah, that comes out this Thursday, Friday, so you'll have like time. When will people be hearing this? Yeah, you'll have time to see it by the time us covering it comes out.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, we will. Yeah.
So rush to the theater.
I'm probably gonna see it. I'll probably try to do it Monday.
I wonder if you can take James. Is it R or PG-13?
I think it's R. Hey, if that's PG-13, we're fucked.
If it's R, we're fucked.
It's R.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. And then Bloodlines for Final Destination.
This is gonna be rough.
All of the like early reviews of it that are just like fucking people paid or like given shit to say it are like, what a ride.
I know. I read that too. Being like, spooky clowns. Like, oh
but
God.
Just being like, this is the best movie ever made.
There is very little chance that's happening. But again, I don't understand it because they have this like very large marketing budget, and I don't understand what's happening.
I don't either. But
unless they somehow tricked a studio into being like, hey, remember Terrifier? We could do it. We'll do it R and make it a national movie. And they were probably like, done.
Yeah, I don't know. I know what they're going for. I really, because I followed the author on Instagram, and I have for a while. It's a book series. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the Fear Street thing with it. And we'll see. That's coming out soon. I need to look into that. But yes, Clown in a Cornfield, then Final Destination, Bloodlines.
Yeah. And
how many weeks are there in
this
May?
guy directed Zombieland too, so I think that's his in. Hey, maybe it'll surprise us.
Hopefully. I'm excited because that seems just like a popcorn movie.
Popcorn movie.
Wee.
All right. Well, that's it, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in to Movie Theater May.
Are you supposed to be doing like ad breaks during these?
Oh yeah, I should start doing those. I just throw them in wherever I feel like.
Go see Sinners. Everyone
go see Sinners.
The director and ask him if he got the Spielberg call. Someone get me an answer.
Go see Clown in the Cornfield.
Yeah. And tell Jeff how you liked it.
Yeah. Slide into his DMs.
Don't. He's mine.
Goodbye from Hollyweird.
Wait. The new outro. The outro.
What's the outro?
Stay Hollyweird.
Oh yeah. Fuck. And for Lexi, this is Sean. Stay Hollyweird, baby.